All right, here we go. So I'm fading out the title image, and I'm going to run through the first part one. There's one video that plays through the whole first section. If you can refer to the spreadsheet, the credits, the prologue, and part one are all continuously one video. So here we go.
Can I just check that we're recording?
Oop, supposed to be some audio there. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's supposed to be audio here. What happened? Ah,
It's not. If you prefer your laptop, that's
No, no,
fine,
no, no.
because
I'm
we just need to log out and then you can go in.
Okay.
okay. There's always something that needs to be adjusted. Sorry, I'll run through this again. Okay, I'm going to run it again.
This performance you're about to see is about hydrocommons, ecological water culture grounded in indigenous histories. Our fictional account of water resources and plant lives is multifaceted and not real, but it flows in some unforeseen directions.
Part 1, when a visiting botanist from North China arrives in England to recover evidence of biodiversity chaos. He looks for future data from archaeological undercommons of rivers and plants.
Okay, so we're going to now go on to scene 1A. Greg, why don't you take it at this point? So I
we're
can.
about to jump into scene one. We're in a blackout, and uh, I presume people are taking notes to discuss any of this later.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we can go on, Randall.
Okay, scene 1.
And once we get video and D, we should probably pause and make sure we've got D positioned in the right location.
Now, she, are you there?
He is here. It's looking good, but this is Jew's entrance, and needs to be downstage right.
There, he's still off stage. Now, what's going on here? Sorry.
Maybe pause the video, Randall, and we'll get.
Yeah.
He's already in the scene. So here it is now.
You want to try this? Let's try this again.
Forgotten the plan.
Try this again. I'm going to go back to scene 1.
Maybe the appearance of Beacon. So we need to define when Jew enters, and maybe it's okay for D to wait until Jew comes closer to the river.
Okay, so I'm not anything, right?
Well, it's up to us to decide whether you are already making the sounds with the plant put and are visible. I think it's okay if you're visible. But maybe we can make your figure in the foreground smaller.
So smaller and probably with a bit more figure in front.
Yeah, D in the foreground has to be small, and she will be wearing the other outfit, so not in red. And then Ju enters upstage left, and should have entered a while ago.
Down. Needs to come down.
Yeah, there.
So
Yeah.
tell me when you're happy with it.
All the way to stage left
But
foreground.
the level's good.
Sorry, stage right. Level is good. Stage right. Yeah, no, it was right. The other way. Yes. Okay.
Stop. Oh, bit
Yep.
further, yeah.
A little bit further.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good.
Right there? Okay, I'm going to mark that.
Yeah.
Preset.
岭外音书断，京东复历春。近乡情更怯，不敢问来人。
And
岭外音书断，京
the
东
cue
复
for
历
Ju
春。
will be entering
情更
as
怯，
soon as you can see the measuring device,
人。
which is the tripod in the film. Not the pole, the measuring device. Then you enter with the Gao Chao. So we probably have to go back to the beginning.
Wait, he's in the scene, so
So we're not seeing him.
I don't see him.
yeah. I have to mark that. Now, let me get I think the video just ran out. Okay. Let's start this scene again. Okay. Bring in the pole.
Maybe, Ju, you can enter now if you want to. Yeah, enter now.
Maybe that's where his things say his ears are.
Did the music just run out?
What would it be?
No.
Okay.
The transition to the outfit. What was they're doing before his
I think they're queuing off of things that are going on in the music.
Ah. Beautiful.
and this is
岭外音书断，京东复历春。近乡情更怯，不改。
Is the music loud enough, Greg?
yeah. No, I think a little.
I'll turn it up a little bit.
音书断，京东复历
I'm
春。
hearing Chu in the background talking, and I like that.
No, that's a poem, Greg.
It's in the
Yes.
music.
Oh, it's embedded? Okay.
It's going well. It's all good.
It's quite a nice way to get a sense of
And
interaction.
change over to river.
岭外音书断，
Change to no wait. Okay. Okay.
近乡
We
情
fade this out.
Work well together.
Pole at
So-
river movie.
Okay, so here comes the
Pole at river movie loop. Yes. Perfect.
Did we like that transition? Or should we
Yes.
try that transition, Randall?
Without the blackout.
I got it. As soon as it fades out, I will fade in the next section.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Can I just ask a question? Why is that juice so transparent?
Yeah. It's because he's wearing black, and I'm really having a rough time with his key.
Right, because he looked better last week. He was a bit more pronounced, he looked a bit too ghostly, and he needs to be the predominant figure, and he's kind of ghostly in relation to Dee.
Yeah, I know. It's a combination of the lighting. It might be a little different, but also the black is so hard to keep.
So
I
would
would
he-
recommend that he not wear black.
That's
Audio wise, we're now in the
Now this video is looping, so I will need a cue when it's supposed to fade out.
If
That's
you're
true.
able to see how far through a track we are, I've been pretty detailed in when
It's-
tracks coming to a close and it's transitioning scene.
Having trouble understanding. Let me take out the. Yeah, Dee, could you say that again?
On the libretto, I've put some pretty accurate marks as to when the tracks are moving to the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to see how far through the track we are in minutes, You could run off of that possibly.
Okay. So it's just when you say the tracks are changing, that's a little hard to know exactly when that is.
Yeah,
I
that's why I put in exact timing. So in reference to the track minutes,
Right, but
you'll be able to see.
I can't really see the time. There's nothing that I can work off of. Is there a way for the best way to get a cue is to get a visual cue? Is there something that's going on with each of those transitions that will give me something visual to work off of?
No, I'm afraid you have to work with the timing of the sound cues because this is the scene 1 to 5, which is continuous. So both you as well as Ju and D need to know that once the film loops, it's the music that tells us when we go to the next scene underwater or into the water. Is that possible if you have a clock running, or is it too difficult?
Well, it does add another layer to what I'm
Hmm.
doing
Oh,
here.
here's a suggestion. Is there a way that Chu or D hear that music has transitioned and then make a gesture to indicate to Randall to transition?
I mean, D, you are the one who knows your music inside out. Why don't you at this point remove yourself from the scene and go into the river, and then Ju follows you into the river? And that's when you have disappeared, we know, okay, we need to go to Q11 underwater, Q10 river flow slow motion. So when you hear your music change from 3 to 4, you disappear from the frame. Is that possible?
Um, yeah, I think I can move off this way, and I will move
Yeah, try to
into.
crawl out into the river. Yeah, as if you are going down to the river, and Ju at this point knows, okay, the music is changing. She has gone. I now put the Gao Chao down. The film changes to river flow, and you are balancing. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah, no, I can leave visual cues on track changes because I obviously know when things shift.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And maybe all of us, I mean, I'm now talking to Drew, myself, and Michelle. We need to listen to your music 20 times so that we also know, oh, here it's changing into river flow, slow motion. And then we could have immediately told Randall, I'm sorry, I have not had time to listen to the music 20 times. I
Oh yeah,
need
no,
to
it's fine.
internalize it, you know?
You know what? You know what, D? I mean, if you want to do this, but I just had another thought, which is that you're right. I mean, we should be able to cue off of the music if it's, if it's clear where there are changes. So, D, why don't you just give us verbal cues right now, and then I can learn where those cues are.
Good idea.
Yeah. Well, I'll just use Mark or something like that. So I can hear myself repeat back some of the effects
Or
on. So
just
I'll just
wave. You can wave. Just some kind of
yeah,
so I can figure it out
yeah,
So
sure.
this is
without. Yeah.
this is the crossfade between scene 3 and 4.1, or am I ahead of myself?
No, that's
You're
precise. 3 to 4.1.
Right. Yeah.
So shall we
I mean,
start from?
probably would have been better just to have edited all those videos together so it doesn't have to even change. But anyway, so let's see.
Well, this is a looped film because it's a very short clip, and therefore we didn't know how long the choreography would have to be with these music. And I have not seen the times until a few days ago.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's right. This is looping, so we couldn't do that. Um, Okay. Well, I suggest that we go back to scene one again, and D, if you could just either give me a verbal cue or just wave or something, and then
Mhm.
when we get to scene two, and then
Yes, we'll do.
another,
But
yeah,
I was just going to
and
say,
then
if this becomes too difficult, just send me. I'll put the videos and I'll edit them to the music.
well, it's a little hard for me to understand you right now, but just I'm going to turn up the sound here. So just give me a cue, some kind of a cue at scene two, and then another one at scene three.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, and scene four.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the videos are going to run out. They don't loop at scenes 4.1 and 4.2. So those are easy.
awesome. I'll still do more just to make sure that we're running the right thing.
That's what he looked like in the previous rehearsal.
Okay, so I'm going back to scene one again, and just wave or something, just something I can figure it out.
That's all.
So I'm in this scene.
Sorry, damn.
Sorry.
I have to wait. I'm sorry, my fault. I really have to. I'm not triggering those cues yet. That's another step.
Be in that position with.
Not lying because lying is makeup.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I mean, once you point it out, it's very obvious.
We're too early. That's the wrong film. Randall, we go to River and Pole.
Okay, I got it. I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself here. Shoot. Okay. I'm going to go
Q8.
back. Let's do this one more time. And I will get it right.
I'm here for this edition.
Shit. God damn it. Okay, that's the cue, right?
Yeah. This is moving into scene 2 now.
No.
Okay. We'll do this.
Yeah.
Just a minute, someone else.
岭外音书断，京东复历春。近乡情更怯，不敢问来人。岭外音书断，京东复历春。近乡情更怯，不敢问来人。
Is that a cue?
Not technically, because I think 2 of the scenes now have the same video from me.
近乡情更怯，不敢问来人。
Very soft.
That a cue?
Yeah.
Very good.
And she told it. Thank you.
Cue. Just can you say 4.2?
Q11.
Johannes, can you give scene numbers because I don't know what 10 and 11 are.
4.2 is 11, Randall.
Okay, but I don't have those numbers anywhere.
Right.
Cue.
Okay, I'm not doing all the fade outs the way they're going to be.
Oh, that's really good.
And
Fade out. Okay. Okay.
on that
So I have a question. do you want Shu and D to fade out when the backgrounds fade out?
I guess you, Johannes and Michelle.
Johannes and Michelle, are you there? Uh-oh.
Fade out everything together when the music comes to an end. Even if the fade out is a bit in the silence, that's okay.
Yeah, it's not a problem, but I don't have fade outs. I thought that these videos were going to run their full length, but obviously they're not. So I need to put fade outs for the performers.
The Blossom film depends on you because it's on loop function. And I wrote in my cue sheet 1 minute 45 and then slowly fade out with the two actors. But I have to review these exact timings now to see whether that's still correct. It's looking okay. Michelle has some comments in a moment. Shall we do comments after each part, or?
You can do comments now. I think. Go ahead.
Ju with the goggles needs to be in the extreme foreground and large, looking at the bumblebee, which is D. And also, we think that he looks different from all the rehearsals we've had. He's too transparent. And we had him in black and it worked fine, but today looks not right.
Okay, let me make some adjustments. I'll give it a try, see if I can get it back. I mean, I'm using the exact same setting from last week. So
we have screenshots from the rehearsal when he was doing that.
I understand, but I'm using the exact same setting, so it may be that his lighting is different or something. But anyway, let me adjust it.
Yeah. And since we probably will forget everything after another 45 minutes, D, I have a note for you, if you don't mind. At the very beginning, I have a slide here from 5 weeks ago. You were resting on your right hip and on your right arm, looking left, and you had your plant in your left hand. So that when the botanist approaches, you're actually not looking out, but you're looking in. So if you lean over to your right elbow, and you have your plant in your left hand, this is in the first scene, I think that would be more effective.
So can I just also
say
that the kind of character that you're kind of playing in this first bit is more nymph-like, a little bit more playful, coming from, like I say, like a nymph or some sort of sprite, just quite a cheeky kind of character exploring the nature. You look like that on the screenshot that Johannes has taken, and then later when you wear the red dress and you're lying as the spirit, then you're becoming much more this kind of lying down figure. So it's just trying to, I suppose, look at the character you're playing within each scene.
And we can send you that particular slide that Michelle and I are looking at. You had your right arm to, stem you off the ground. You had and then you had your plant in the left hand. And you were kind of turning your body a bit around. Yeah, more like that. Yes. We'll show you the slide. And then you can hold that plant almost to lure Ju towards you. Look, here I am. Come towards me. He's still in the background in the field, looking for water.
So I'll be more animated, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good. That key.
Yeah. And Greg, I have a serious note for you and
Yes.
and for Randall. I'm afraid we feel that I suggested a couple of images, and I was picking up from what you had created. You did not show us Q6 2 plant flower alone, ping, but you brought in pole alone, and the pole alone was obscuring Ju. So we don't need the pole alone. We need the plant flower alone in the corner where D is. And
Okay.
remember, in my cue sheet, I had D and foreground plant. So let's not do the pole, but just let's do a very vivacious plant with D in the corner, if that's possible.
Do you understand what, Randall? Do you understand what Johannes is saying? I'm looking at his. Let's see. It would be Q6 Forest.
Yeah. Forest Valley movie and 2 plant flower alone, ping. D and
So,
foreground.
and then that means cut in scene 1 the 3 pole alone.
Yeah, the pole alone is obscuring the measuring instrument and choose head.
So we should cut that. So
Probably.
scene 1, which would be, sorry, let me just double check here, cross referencing between the scene numbers and your cue numbers. So,
So I'm going to take out the pole alone altogether because the next scene, which is why I moved it, already has a pole. So it seemed you would have had 2 poles.
That's correct. Yeah.
okay, so those are cut.
Yeah. Just a Q7. My old Q7, we don't need the pole alone because we have the measuring instrument.
So you want to like that.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and D will be kind of curled into that beautiful blue plant,
Beautiful.
which is now supernatural, and later on it appears in the film.
So that's in your second half of scene 1, Randall.
Yeah, I got it. So I'm moving the plant back, but I'm going to take out the pole altogether.
Yeah, and you can already walk in here when we see that whole panning shot. Even before the train comes, you can already be there, yeah? Because this is a nice right to left pan, and you are walking in slowly to look for water. And very soon we'll have the measuring instrument coming. And that's where you are heading to. Yep. Okay, wonderful. I think we got that sorted. And then if you can bring Drew out a bit more colorful, that would be nice.
I
Can
just
I
did.
just
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Otherwise, thank you, Dee, for giving us the sound cues. That was perfect. And the transition in Stone River and river flow, Drew was very good. We will look at it again soon, maybe when we do the run through, because what I don't know right now is how the transition worked from underwater stone to blossom. That's a tough. Yeah, but I'm sure it'll be fine if we can just do a very nice crossover fade.
I'm just checking my blocking here. I've just been updating these scene changes. I'm just trying to figure out where.
It's amazing, isn't it? To get this to really work.
So
How much easier in the studio?
okay. That was supposed to get triggered there. Let's see.
It's only 5 o'clock.
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty close to how you were. Yeah.
It's too laid down. She needs to be a bit more
Up.
set up. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can twist your body a little bit into the camera.
And here's the plant.
That's nice. That's good.
I mean, this way into the. I don't know where Dee's camera is, but.
Dee, can you come in? Drew, can you come in too? You're good, Dee. You know you were perfect. Stay there. Stay where you were. Yeah, because we have a plant in your foreground now. Okay. So, all right. Well, so
Okay, good.
we need to get you back to full black. or at least the more
There's not
saturated black that you had.
Um,
you need
boy, I
to
just had it. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Okay, let me adjust it again with the background.
That position is not bad either.
That's nice.
That's a nice position, D. Also,
Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Let me lock that down.
that's much better, Randall. Great. And that's what he
Okay.
was on the original. Yeah.
Yeah,
Flesh
yeah.
color as well. I mean, the
Okay.
hands and
You know, I think that when we do the chroma setting, we need to have it with something in the background. That was
Okay.
what threw me off.
Yeah.
So, let me just double check that this whole scene is going to come in the way it's supposed to. Okay. The only thing I don't have right now is fading them in, but I'll
Okay.
work on that.
Okay.
Cool. Can I just add to that? Between scene 4.1 and 5, can I be removed because then I need to get in position for the start of scene 5?
Yes, D. You have crawled into the water. You're gone, and then you come back for Blossom.
Yeah, I just mean for the green screen because otherwise I've got to get it. I can't. I'll walk into the middle of the scene.
Okay. Give me a second. I'll put those fade ins right now because might as well do it. Then I can do the fade out. Okay, let me just do so just take a sec. That was for D and then for Shu. Let's see. Okay. All right. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Let me test this again. There we go. I'll finesse that, but it's more or less there.
Okay.
Okay. And then, D, you were saying that you wanted to fade out. It's somewhere.
Yeah, and do you mind taking the effect off my voice?
Taking it back where?
Taking the effect off my voice.
take the effect on.
Just on my voice. So
Oh, they're off.
okay. I can hear myself in the echo.
I mean, I have your. I have the effects turned down on your voice.
Okay. I can hear like a clear delay, I think.
Like this sort of
But yeah.
it's like sort of slice, right?
So leaving scene 3 and going into scene 4, can you get rid of my space in the video and then bring me back to scene 5 so I can get into position? So I've got to be like center on my green screen for the start of scene 5.
Wait, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to follow that. So scene 3. Let me put scene 3 on. Okay, so here's scene 3.
I'll type it so it'll be easier.
I mean, I could hear you. I just wasn't following you.
Just so I've got to come into I've got to come like for the start of scene 5. I've got to be in the very center of my green screen, pretty much. So would it be possible for between in the scenes that I'm not in, so scenes 4.1 and 4.2, can you remove my space and then I can come in through the middle, and then scene 5 when I can come back in?
Can you just tell me where you want to fade in and fade out? I don't know what you mean by remove your face.
Oh no, not face, my green screen, my space. like my physical space from the actual green screen.
Well, can you just refer to it as either fading in or fading out?
Yeah, can you fade me out? End of scene 3 when I leave.
Okay, one
And
second. Let
fade
me just do. Let me just do that right now. So at
And
the end of scene
end
three,
of scene
wait,
three.
hold on a second. I'm just going to get it done right now. Okay. Okay, so
But Dee, remember, Randall may not precisely know when that end is.
well,
well,
it's just when it goes to black.
Okay.
yeah, when it goes
If
to
it can,
black, it'll be like that.
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
then
cool.
start of scene 5, fade me back.
The
Scene five,
blossom,
you want to
blossom,
fade
yeah?
in, fade
Yeah,
in.
into the
Mm-hmm.
blossom.
Okay,
Yep.
But remember that in the blossom film, she's very small. A bumblebee.
okay. Let me get that set. First, the fade in.
How is this possible with 2 hour rehearsal? It's not possible. 10 hours.
There's something going wrong somewhere, so you have to try and think what it is. What's the problem? Because it
Okay.
needs to put that next to
All
it.
right, so we've got fading in with the blossom, and now tell me exactly how you want to be positioned here.
Can I be more in the center of the shot?
Inside the blossom, up,
Yeah. And then
up,
smaller.
smaller and up.
Mm-hmm.
A bit to the stage right, where the bumblebee is.
But
Yeah.
not obscuring the bee, because it's quite nice to see the bee.
Ah. Okay, a bit more to the left, to more to stage right, not obscuring the bumblebee.
Down, down.
A bit lower. Yeah. Yes. So now,
I,
Dee, if you move a little bit with your arms and do motion choreography, you'll be interacting with the bumblebee and the blossom.
okay, I need
And more,
to set
a
this.
bit
Give me a
smaller
second.
still. A bit smaller still. She's
Scene
too
five.
large. I mean, Dee, you can tell yourself if you feel you want to be smaller or larger.
And then you can be, I don't know how you were before, but you could be on your back like a beetle or,
Yeah.
some sort of insect-like kind of
Movement.
quality
Yeah.
while you're inside with that bee. I mean, you don't have to be a bee, you could be a different insect.
It'll be a terrific kinetic scene. You are like a. We don't know what you are. You are floating in this blossom.
Hmm.
She needs to be a little bit smaller, Randall.
Yeah, it was really good when you were really tiny in the one that I saw um, previously.
Okay.
I'm gonna dash to the bathroom quickly. Excuse me.
Okay, so you want her smaller?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking good. That's nice. Little. That's yeah.
Blossom with D. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, no, well, no, but
Yeah.
she wasn't always
No,
that big
no.
because I saw
Yeah.
ones where she was tiny.
Yeah.
That's
That's
actually really
beautiful.
nice,
That's
like that.
beautiful.
And
That's
then
beautiful. And then you can
down,
feel, you can move as much as you like. You can be very, very expressive in this scene. And experiment with the kinetics of it, almost as if you're tumbling in zero gravity
yeah,
space.
yeah, and you can stretch out and then lift your limbs up and um, yeah, and just be a bit creature-like.
Yes, beautiful. And Ju, if you would please be so kind and put the goggles on, we need to get you into the extreme foreground with the goggles.
Okay.
Well, you see, that's a really nice size there, look, with that little one, which is similar to that there.
Yeah, I'm going to send him.
Randall.
Randall.
Mm,
Okay, let me get this set here.
yeah.
I'm looking at the rehearsal that we did 4 weeks ago, she was even a tiny bit smaller, and it looked so great.
You want it
But this
smaller than that?
tiny bit smaller, and it looked so fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she's like a
and
little
and that's
insect.
good. You're also good now in the foreground, looking into this fluttering blossom. Very good.
And oh, Dee's gone again. So Dee, you can also, as well as being on your back and moving legs, you can go forward, like into a kind of
Yeah.
cat cow position, and stretch
Yeah.
your limbs forward and stretch out, make your arms into antennae type shapes. Just kind of playing with this quality of the
Yeah.
insect.
Now,
And
what about Shu's positioning here?
I think I like it because Jew is looking upwards into the blossom, and Jew, you don't have to do much. You're an observer. Yeah. It's very good. Maybe at one point, Jew, you can lower your head and look down to the stem of the blossom.
And how about would it be that Jude turns and looks into the camera for a moment? No, you don't want that.
Why not? And then turn around again. Very good, Jew. So you're free to do a 360.
Mm.
Okay, let me get the fade in for Zhu. Wait a second.
Just imagine you are inside the plant world now,
There we
as you
go.
will be inside the water world. Yeah, do a 360, and then we can see you as the observer with the VR
Yeah,
and continue the turn. Beautiful.
yeah, and Dee, you're almost taking pollen from the flower like the bee is. You want to take some of the pollen.
So with your right hand, grab forward as if you are trying to touch the blossom. And later, this will be also your
That's nice. That's
choreography
really
with the
nice,
soul.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's very good. That's a good echo.
Mm.
Almost like you're titillating
Can I
the
pull it
blossom.
down a bit though? No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see the spores, how they move? Beautiful. You're trying to touch them and feel the
And
soft.
brush your hand
Yeah,
across them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you're stroking the back of a camel. So do a stroking movement.
But Sue is also intrigued by this tiny little insect that
Yeah.
Dee is, I guess.
Good. That's
So
good. Excellent.
yeah.
Good.
I
Okay.
have a question. Is there any point where Shu is going to fade out before this scene?
No, we'll fade them all out together, I think. So do a complete fade out at the end when the music ends.
No. I mean before this scene, because D wants to fade out at the end of scene 3. But is there any point where Shu's going to fade out before this scene? Otherwise, I don't even need to fade him in.
You need to fade him out at the end of 4-2 underwater
Okay.
stones because he has to go and get the goggles.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, so at the end of 4-2, when we move to Blossom, just fade in Blossom and D and fade you out.
Okay, I have to set that. 1 second.
Mm.
But it should be possible to
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
So, Ju, you have, 10, 15 seconds after underwater stones to get your goggles and then enter the Blossom whenever you're ready.
Okay, I want to just test this fade out here real
Is she
quick.
speaking?
I'm just going to
I
test
can.
something for a second. So this is the fade in, and then this is the fade out. Whoop. D
Good.
would already have been faded out, so that's okay. And then we fade everybody in. Okay, great.
That's very good.
Oh, I like that, Dee. That. It's my hand. I don't mind the woman doing it. It's the visiting man. I don't mind.
It's meant to be you.
Yeah. I've hardly said anything yet. My voice is quieter as well.
Yeah, it's going well. I think we can leave it here.
Okay, so shall we? Let me just play part 2. Transition. Oh, there's music still going here, but that's okay. All right, so here's part 2.
Part 2. Wherein from the distance, Cardin is spotted wading in the water as if on his boat. He ferries the souls from downriver to upriver, where they meet the ancestors. He reminds the visiting botanist that rivers connect continents, and have also always been borders.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I'm fading in 6A. And I'm going to have to set the position. It's just Shu who's in the scene, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He comes in on one side, goes to the other, and goes back.
And does he come in at the very beginning with the background? Or later?
He comes in a few seconds later.
After the freeze or before the freeze?
Before the freeze.
Okay.
Just after, when you start, then he comes in after about 5-6 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And he is trying to observe what Caron is doing.
Okay. I'm getting this set up, so let me just I'll bring him in a second here. Okay. Oh, he's there. Okay. Now, Johannes, your time, 2 minutes and 37 seconds, is not accurate because the video is not even that long. So we have to set... But I think I could remember where you wanted to freeze.
It's near the end, yeah.
Yeah.
The video is 2:37 and you freeze at 2:21.
Well, I'm going to use my eye because, again, it's really hard to follow the timing. So it's around here, right?
Almost there, yeah.
Okay, give me the cue when you were ready.
Now. And Ju, I think, has to be a bit further on the stage left.
Okay.
As far as I know, you're cropping his space, but just a little bit. Can you move him over?
Sorry, I was moving the wrong thing there. Okay.
Yes, it is.
This is good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was able to do kind
Let me mark that. I need a second. So this is scene 6B.
And he doesn't have to be quite so small, so make Ju a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Oh, stop. Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah. I think the sizes look good there.
That looks very good, Ju. Excellent. Trying to catch the souls, yes.
It's nice in relation to that little sound, that scratching sort of sound. Really at maximum volume. And your Bluetooth is not working.
It's looking wonderful. We just need to know now, since the film is arrested, when we're going to fade out.
If when everything's played in conjunction at the same time to the video and the track, the violins come back at the very end of the track with that sort of scratchy violin melody. So that's sort of cue for the track coming to its conclusion.
So, D, let us know when your music ends, yeah?
嗯。
断。
Uh-oh. I think, D, we have a 3-minute scene, so now it's much longer.
Oh no, it's just because it restarted it because the track is on loop right now.
I see.
So it restarted.
Yeah, we need to ask Randall to really fade out after 3 minutes.
But I'm going to need either a visual or an audio cue.
Can you not do?
The audio cue will be the violins. They come back at the end of the track. You can start. Yeah, they're starting to come back now. So they're fine.
Have they?
So it should be getting towards the end.
Have they already happened?
No, you can hear them now. They're just coming back. That really scratchy like violin upper register
Where it
bit.
fades out?
Yeah, so you'll start. Yeah, that upper layer. That.
Do you want Shu to fade out here?
Yes, please. Oh, that's the violin cue. Okay. We need to find the exact timing of that and tell Randall, and then maybe need a temporal cue. Go into black and then bring up intertitle for scene 7, part 3. Thank you. That's very good.
Part 3, where an aerial tells of a visiting botanist about tempests, dances with the invisible ancestors, and discovers the flooded remnants of villages and towns that were too close to the rivers. The visiting botanist finds that rivers protect climates and are narrative forms.
Okay. Sorry, D, I have the music doubled here, so I'm going to take that out manually right now. There we go. Now, is anybody in the scene here?
No?
Okay,
But
good.
I think the volume needs to be quite powerful here.
Okay. Seems loud to me, but I can make it louder. How's that?
Yeah.
Yes? Needs to be a bit oppressive, yes.
really good sound.
Good sound, D.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry. I had turned down the sound here. I'll get that back up. Come on.
Indigenous peoples against dragons and unknown creatures.
Okay, now we're going on to scene 8.
Yeah.
We turn into repeat
Now we have shoes in here, right?
things
Yes.
and the ghost of things.
Okay, so let me fade in shoe.
The actual green of summer and summer's half truth. We tend to repeat ourselves. We wake up on
Good.
the edge of the street and hear the
And I
water
need a cue for when the other drawings come in.
speaks a word and inserts it into the hills. Behind the water, the beginnings of light, splintering, wrapped in one another, like arrows looping. The water pearls and skin in drops, light. In it, the sky is the ground.
When you hear that, you hear it sort of double the melody.
Is this where the... Is this a cue?
Yeah.
Just say cue.
Good.
Yes. Excellent.
I think the music just looped.
Yeah, the music ending music as well.
The actual green of summer and summer's half truth. We tend to repeat ourselves. We wake up on the edge of the street and hear the water. The mound speaks a word and inserts it into the hills. Behind the water, the beginnings of light, splintering, wrapped in one another, like arrows looping. The water pearls and skin,
Next cue is when the background comes out, so tell me when that happens.
light.
Well, we went and looped the track, so this is obviously a lot of it before. Essentially the next cue is sort of the background leaves when that audio leaves.
Oop, sorry. I'm going to take out the granular over here. Okay.
You made the face more ghostly at the ending. Negative effect.
Let's wait till it's done and we'll work on that.
This is the cue for this to fade in.
The cue...
There's the melody doubles on itself just at slightly different times, so it starts to overlap itself a bit.
That's what I was trying to
It
say.
starts to stuff like that.
So take that. You can see it's very different.
Sorry, I'm lost. Okay, I'm going to take out the background.
The ghost of things.
Randall, last week you had it tilted differently, not parallel but diagonal,
Okay.
and we just saw his
we'll get
face
that
coming
set.
through.
We wake up on the edge of the street.
I had
You
to
had
do a lot of
also-
work on this video to get it to look look right.
You also had a little blue tint, and you had it in the opposite direction, the overlay.
And a little bit smaller.
No, it's the same direction.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I have the screenshot from last week. I will
Yeah, I
send you
don't
the screenshots tomorrow, so you can compare. Excellent movement, Ju, and then Ju's face became a ghost-like saturation.
Okay, let's go over all those things at the end.
Okay.
Now, my next cue is that I have a fade out on these two drawings here, and
Yeah.
I've tried something. Tell me if you like this.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
I could even leave that up longer. I think it's really nice when it does that.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to stop, and what would be nice is to go over each thing individually so I can make the adjustments.
Okay. In this scene, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the intertitle with text and voice, and then we fade in the sound and Brush River poem film.
I'll go back right to here.
Yeah. It
Now,
begins with the drawing hand. And
I'm
then
going to take out the music just so that we can talk.
Yeah.
1 second.
And then Ju enters the space after whatever 5-10 seconds.
And the entrance was really good. It looked really good this week.
So they don't come in together.
No.
No. First we see the hand, then we see the dancer.
Oh, but is that me fading him in, or is that just him entering?
Him entering, I think.
See, that's
he's
different.
rolling in. Yeah.
That's different than a fade. That's not my thing. That's his thing.
Okay, sorry. So Ju, wait 10 seconds and then roll into the space.
It looked very, very good the way you did it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start that again, and then you could try that. And is he where you want him and the size that you want him?
Yeah.
Yes.
It looked good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Ju, get out of the scene, and I'm going to start it again, without the music.
Perfect. So that allows Ju to do choreography with the drawing hand. And in my cue sheet, I suggested after 2 minutes, superpose the drawings on the floor, but diagonally opposite to what you see now.
Super.
We don't have 2 minutes on the sound, so I've noted that the
I
melody
can guess
doubles.
2 minutes, as long as it's not 2 minutes and 8 seconds. I can guess 2 minutes. All right, so here's the drawings coming in.
Sorry, Dee.
So they need to be angled the other way.
Yeah, so they need to be cross-cutting with the angles.
Okay.
I think maybe it's an inversion effect.
No, it's like 90 degrees. 90
All right,
degrees
so let me see here.
to the left.
Okay. So, I mean, this is exactly the way the video is. So, all I did was I made more contrast to the original video so that there wasn't so much grit on the screen. But anyway, so...
But that's not how we had it last time. You had inverted it so that it was diagonal. pointing into the other direction.
So flipped
Yeah, flipped.
like
Whoops.
that.
No, try. Are you able to? It was not echoing the shapes on the first shapes. It was actually at a diagonal to those.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Like that. Okay.
No, but you moved it. It's moved back again. You keep going.
More,
Keep
more.
going.
Yes,
Stop.
that's it.
That's it.
Stop,
That
stop, stop.
way.
Go
Well,
back.
yeah, but they're kind of keystoned a bit. But
Go back a bit.
This way? Or the
Yeah,
other
a bit
way?
more. Bit more. That's it. That's how we had them last week.
apart
Okay.
from
Well, that had to be adjusted to get it that way. That's not the way the video is.
That's correct.
that's
So let me
You
just. I
were
need
you
to.
were you were fiddling with it, and we liked this sort of superposition and the
Right. Right.
contrast.
Okay. So I have to see. I haven't made the presets, and I'm making them now.
Okay.
So that's going to be. This is scene 8. Okay.
Are you able to get the perspective on those rectangles more correct?
Don't know what that is.
No, I know that it's because he's turned it round. It's left a white bit.
I
round.
can change the rotation on it.
Yeah.
So you want them to be like flatter, or
Well,
pointing
just to
at
look
us?
like the perspective's a little bit more accurate, as if we were looking into them. So at the minute, the far side is too long compared to the near side.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any control over that.
All right. I mean, it
It's just the
worked last
shape of
week.
it.
Really strange.
Yeah, move
It's
it a bit
on the
over
side.
so that we can't have it.
Yeah, just
We can't have any white.
yeah.
There's all this white now that we can't have.
I could
That's
adjust that. It's just the
okay.
contrast.
Okay.
And can we get, because we've lost an edge of the first small rectangle? Is it possible?
Let me get see if I can get rid of the gray.
What's happening here compared to last week?
I don't know. I don't know if I can completely get rid of that. Maybe if I take out, no, you don't want that because you want the blue. I'm turning up the saturation so it's a little bluer. But
For some reason, it looks so different from last week. Did we use a peng instead of the film? Is that possible?
no.
Do you wanna send a screenshot of last week on the WhatsApp group, and then
Let me do that. I'll just take it on my phone and send it to you. 1 second.
Was that last week or was that? Oh,
No, it was last week because it was my first time joining, and it was when I
okay.
came. So here we are. I'm just going to send it. So it's coming. And then I'll send you another one.
Greg, is it possible we used a slide and not
Yes, that's what I was
film?
trying to look for.
Because we had three or four pengs.
Yes, Randall, there is an image called IMG_0226 TRX, which was a transparency PNG.
So let me see if I can find it. 1 second. So we
It's
weren't using the video then.
Then it's my fault for implying the video instead of the image that Greg had created.
I don't
02226, yeah?
I don't think I have that.
It's currently in
image.
the folder part 4 in the media folder.
I just want to see if what's it called again?
IMG_0226 space TRX dot PNG.
Okay, let me see if
I actually think this is originally was made for our 4th session.
But I don't
Yes, you're
recall that I've
absolutely
ever
right,
used
Greg.
that
That's
image.
it.
I don't even have it in the folder here.
Time it was the first session I was able to join, and that was last week.
You had it last week, and maybe because of my cue sheet, that's my fault. It got moved. But that's precisely the ping.
Okay, let me
0226.
find it, and I'll see if I think I can get it in here pretty quick.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Um,
I've oriented. Yes, the orientation is the same as it now appears in the live to air video with
where
Chu.
is that? I'm trying to find the image. Where is it?
In part
Media,
4. Part 4.
media part 4.
It's in part 4, the third item.
Media part 4. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it would be. I'm going to change the name of it because it's helpful to have a more meaningful name. I'm going to call it drawing trx.png. And also, just for future reference, it's a good idea not to have spaces in these file names. I have to change all that.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
mean?
because Max is not very forgiving with spaces.
It's a PC
Yeah,
thing, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so let me put this into. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the video out of my list of media here, and I'm going to replace it with the PNG. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can bring that up. There it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
a little bigger and
so
and
let's-
no red and orange.
Yeah, I have to do a little work on this to get rid of that gray. I might need some work on the actual image itself, because these images are not exactly right for what we're trying to do.
You need to flip it. It was actually still the wrong diagonal. It was in the opposite direction.
Okay, let me get the color for up.
This is amazing.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm bringing the saturation down a little bit. When the saturation's up, we get that orange, but then we lose some of the blue. So I'm going to... Okay, so let's go back to the positioning.
It needs to turn because that is that. And
Yeah.
that angles that
If
way,
you look at
that
the
way.
screenshot that Michelle sent you, it's still
Oh,
not
yeah.
quite right.
Okay, I see it. I can get it.
Okay, fascinating. And we had dark black with the painting film, and then you had this bluish tinted slide.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, and then we had the bluish tint.
Yeah.
Okay. Ay. I think that was a little hue. Well, that will help because with the color
That's it.
scheme here.
What is the shape? We just have to get rid of the white now at the corners.
Yeah, there's just some white edges.
I think it's I have to invert the brightness to do that. Okay, I think I'm getting close.
Yeah, it's getting. That
looks pretty good. Okay, let me
tiny bit more transparent.
Let me mark that.
But it could be a tiny bit more transparent.
Okay, I just wanted to mark it before I lose it. So a little more transparent. Well, that I can do in another place.
Yeah.
And no white edges on the edges at the bottom and stage right.
It seems.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
Sorry.
That was the wrong thing.
Because when Drew's in the middle, his face was coming here.
I'm going to do this manually.
So where that point is, his face was there.
Yeah.
So the shape. Can you bring the shapes over a bit, Randall? So that.
Yeah, Let me get the color back again with the automation. Hold on a sec. This is
It's a little fascinating
The process.
challenge.
Yeah, it's interesting. But it's how this is captured again next week because, you know.
Well, he says he's logging it now. It's a fascinating process, and once you got it, try to log it for next week. There's a little sliver of white still in the screen.
well,
Can you move the two
we
smaller
go.
panels a bit more towards the center? And up?
Because if you look back at the screenshot I've just sent you on the WhatsApp, you can see there's more river on the right, or what Johannes calls
Yeah.
stage
Good.
left.
Yeah.
That, no,
Stop,
not
stop.
too far. That's
A
fine.
little bit back. That was perfect.
It's kind of just over the. If you look at the undulations of the river, the corner of the bottom square is coming just over the penultimate undulation.
He's at a different point in the film now.
Oh,
Yeah, but I think the positioning is almost like you had it. If you just go a
Just
little
keep-
bit
it
more
needs
to the
come-
center,
Yeah, it needs to come back over.
a little bit
Okay.
more to the center, then that white sliver on stage left is going to be gone too. Stop. Good. Excellent.
That's it. That's perfect.
Keep it. Log it. Perfect.
Okay, let me
And
just
then-
see
and
what
then-
happens when I hit the button now.
And then Drew's face will be exactly where we had him last week.
Okay,
Very
good,
Drew.
good. It's all
Perfect.
And
set.
it could be at the slightest less, a little bit more transparent, tiny bit more transparent, because you're seeing a bit more of Jew's body. Just look,
Yeah.
you see.
More
So we-
transparent.
Tiny,
Yes.
Yeah, just a little bit more transparent because we were seeing a bit of Jew's shadow through the shape last week.
And his face was becoming glaringly white.
It's not getting. Let me see. Let me just do this manually for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. You're doing
something
it
like
now.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's better. It could have been slightly more opaque, just a little bit towards the opacity.
It was a bit too much.
Yeah.
Like there.
Yeah. Well, a little bit more opaque, tiny. You've gone a little bit too much the other way. Drew, can you stand up? It's just that we need to see what we're seeing through the shapes.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, stop.
change it.
Right
there.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do.
And the face of Drew was glowing in the dark.
And the shapes were a bit brighter, but we'll have to worry about that later. Why would it doesn't matter, but the shapes looked a little bit more bright last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there you had it for a moment.
Where's it gone? We lost it again.
Well, I'm just testing out the trigger.
Yeah.
I can get it. I know where it was.
Almost like it.
Luminescence to it. This is very flat.
Yeah.
Flatness to that, whereas the other was a luminous kind of.
Almost like a sky.
Yeah. So that luminescence, that is good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's much better.
Do you want?
And
Do you
then-
want it brighter? The blue to be brighter.
There was a kind of luminescence, a bit more sky blue coming through on the one last week. Johannes, watch it because we're not there yet. Still not quite. That was quite interesting though.
Well,
You had
that's too much brightness.
yeah.
You know what the problem is, Michelle, is that because we've brought down the opacity, it's less bright.
Yeah, it's interesting though because on the screenshot from last week, you can see Jew's body slightly silhouetted.
Maybe
through it.
a little. Let me just bump up the opacity.
And the river color is very different.
That's getting pretty close, but I agree. It was.
Yeah.
See if I bring up the
better.
opacity,
Yeah,
then you
alright.
get that brightness.
Okay, well, maybe with
That's
that, it's
kind of
just
it.
yeah,
That's it.
it is, but we
That's it.
don't see dew anymore through there.
Okay.
But it's just interesting what we're getting here, the difference. Yeah,
But
The
you
blue
see
is
him
right.
through the little
the
the
river.
line. You see him through the
Yeah,
line.
yeah. But if you have a look at the bit I sent on WhatsApp, I mean, we're probably going to have to compromise, but
Yeah, I can see it, but I
yeah,
just can't seem
yeah,
to get it exactly like that.
yeah,
But this looks pretty good.
This is
yeah.
pretty
It's
good.
nice.
And
It's nice.
do you remember how you made Drew's face glow with whiteness?
Okay, let's work on that.
And then we're done. The blue is perfect.
Okay, so
Still not the transparency, right?
Yeah, but the color's better.
Yeah.
Because you want it to
all
be
right.
more alive than this color. This is quite a dead
So
color.
that's right. He looked like a mime,
Yes.
right? Okay.
His face became a whitish glow.
Oop.
And don't move him because he was in the right position.
No, I know. Wrong knob. Well, we want to get his clothing black. So let me try. Oh, maybe with the hue.
Mm, it was a white fleshly color on his face.
Oh, goodness. It was almost as if there was more light shining on his face, but I don't
Yeah,
suppose that.
but if I turn up the brightness, oh, there we go. Okay. All right, now if I. Oh. I don't know. I think maybe a little bit more contrast. No. I don't know. That's not too bad.
Can you move him back into the center?
Well, he has to move himself.
Yeah.
Drew, can you
Oh,
move to the center?
He moved him.
Oh, he moved him.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know it.
He moved.
He moved him. Okay.
whoops. Sorry.
Right.
About there?
Yes. And it's not quite the same as last week, but better.
It's better.
Yeah. And then when you fade the scene out, you fade out the film first, leave the peng in with Drew, and then fade them all out.
Yeah, that's how I have it set up. So let me fade out the background.
PNG.
It's not peng.
I don't know.
And then this fades out. Shoot. Ooh.
No, it's just a square.
Together, yeah? Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's quite nice too.
That's very nice too.
I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That was just yeah, he's still in. And then I can fade him out after that. I think that might be nice.
Yeah. I really like seeing this at the end
Yeah.
rather than
That was a total accident, but it was a
I
nice
think it looks
accident.
good. Is there a reason why his fingers are black like that now? Is it because you've done something with the skin?
Because it's black behind him. So there's no contrast with the background.
That's what it- right, I see. Okay.
like
No, I was just asking. I like to understand what's going on, why that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I can fade him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to work on those fades of the chromas because it's tricky, but that's the general idea. Can I just really quickly step through all of that? Make sure these controls are working.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's the beginning, and he would be out of the scene.
Yeah, he rolled in.
And then I'm just going to bring in the drawings. Okay, they're the drawings. All right.
Yes.
And then the background goes out, and we have
Yes.
the drawings. And then the drawings go out. I'll
And
figure
then-
out how to
And
do that a little more elegantly.
and his face
It's
ghostly.
really
Yeah.
cool though.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then he fades out. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to finesse that, but that's a general scheme.
I just want to see, can I just see you? What happens if you come big towards us? No? No? Okay. That's all right. No, I was just interested.
In the back. No, I think it is good the way we have it right now because we're already at a very late point now in rehearsal.
You know, I would like to, I don't know if everybody can do this, but I would like to suggest that we have one more rehearsal before
Yeah.
next Saturday.
It depends if people are available. I agree, but I mean, it's people's availability. No, I mean, it's
I would prefer to ask the team whether we can go a little bit longer today for another half hour rather than arranging because Ju is not in his studio with the green screen. He's in Bath. So I think we need to try maybe to go till 6:30
Well, let's just
today.
keep going. Let's keep going. And
Yeah. Is that okay, D?
Jewish.
G and D is this G and D.
the thing
and
is that I have a fair amount of work before I can run smoothly through the whole thing with all the little adjustments that we've made.
Yeah.
I have to finesse them, and so I don't feel like we're not going to really be able to do a run through today. But we could do a very rough run through if you'd like. But let's go on to part 5.
Okay. So intertitle part 5.
Part 5, wherein Hadrian's Wall makes an appearance and links eastern and western seas in secret meandering lines, like drawings on invisible canvases. Their rhythms evoke new vocabularies for futures at hand, but all these may also cycle, endure, and recur again.
Okay, and now scene 9.
Oh, that's all new with D as a red soul. Okay, so here we bring up the first cue and then we are changing from the photograph to D, live, lying in that fortress. So
Now,
D, if you could
are
go.
both D and Shu, are they both in the scene here?
Yes.
From
But
the
first,
from the beginning.
First, it's we have the background Hadrian Wall and lake image, ping, and then instead of the foreground ping, we have the live D in red dress lying stage left.
Okay, hold on a second.
So if you could move her down stage left.
Okay.
And D, you're up. You're exactly the other way
I
around.
know. I was thinking that. Can you turn the other way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go to the black.
Yes. Very good.
With the black gloves.
Yes, and then
little
probably
bigger.
without gloves. Is that possible, D, without the gloves? And then, yes, the positions, good.
Lovely. Yeah. And you know, when it's the actual thing, you could almost undo your hair and have that lying around as well.
Slightly more to the left, Randall, so that her legs are inside the little fortress. The outlines of a house.
Okay.
That's nice.
Okay, so her legs are inside.
Yeah, she just needs to move across a bit. Oh, up. That's it. Stop.
And we would like to see her face, right?
A little bit of the face, yeah. So, yeah, it's like when you say let your hair down, don't cover your face. Face we would love to see. But just this hair really spreading out. Yeah. That's it, yeah.
And you can be in the scene if you want to. That's fine. So you both appear. I mean, yeah. So maybe the way you were kneeling was good. And And at this point, you don't have the scarf yet, so you can
Where is
just
this? Oh, it's inside. Okay.
Yeah. slowly extract that as the scene goes on, and then do the choreography that you had in mind. Can we have the music too, please?
Oh, yes.
I think we could see a tiny bit more of your face, Dee. Tiny bit more. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
Now, where's the music? Oh, I turned it down over here. Sorry.
A true step in.
So give me a cue when you want the start playing.
Yeah. And move on, Drew, with the scene. You need to find the soul. And D, you never move an inch. You are a dead soul, yeah? That's good. And Randall, stand by for fading out D. Stand by. And fade out D.
Okay. I have to put the cue in here.
D, you can't
Oh.
ever move. You have to be
Sorry.
completely still.
That
D,
was the wrong
not
person.
Jew.
I know. I'm trying to do this on the fly here. Okay. When do you want the background to start?
When I tell you,
Okay.
and begin film.
Okay. It takes a few
Nine
seconds because of the way it's
background
edited.
headlands wall. Begin film.
Yeah, it takes a few seconds after I hit the cue.
You, I asked you in my email to let the red drape over your outstretched arms and fall down on both sides. You're carrying a dead body, but the two red sides of the scarf, then they drape down from the arms.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's it. And now you walk up the Hadrian's Wall. Everything is going well. And then, Randall, the next fade out will be Drew.
Okay. And is that the same time that the video pauses?
Video never pauses.
I have a cue to pause the video.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
And slowly fade out Drew. Now stand by for 9B mid-ground Michelle feet. and then start Michelle's feet. Beautiful.
I want you to know I spent hours getting this right. It was very hard.
Is the background film still moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do you want it to pause or not?
99999. I'm just asking. This is actually good. Looked for a moment as if it was pausing. Excellent, Randall. Very good work. I'm sorry that I don't have the timings, but we let Michelle's feet walk into the ocean and then fade her out when the film is ended, and we just continue with the background film. Oh, are they both at the end? Good. Last part.
Just a note. Randall, the audio was. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The audio for that one was warped again, so it wasn't playing.
Okay. I can fix that. I had to go through and change the. Yeah, I see what the problem is. I have to change the beats per minute so they don't.
Well, easier is just when you import them into the project, just remove it from warping and looping, so it doesn't loop and it doesn't warp.
Well, I have them looping now because just so that we have some continuity while we're rehearsing, but I can take off the loop when we're ready.
Yeah. None of them loop, so yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so now scene 10.
Randall, one moment, please.
Yeah.
Would you mind, because the whispering was meant to come for some scenes, but not for all. Could you play my voiceover for the last part?
Not easily, because as I mentioned, I have edited the voiceovers with the video. The titles are now video, and they have the sound edited into them. That's why I was asking to make sure that you had this the way you wanted.
Well, this is all new to me. I had not heard this. So you have edited Dee's voice into all of the title slides.
There was one that was yours.
Well, I'm just following the script that you gave me, that Greg gave me. In other words, Dee's intertitles are for all of the. They're for all of the parts except for the very introductory opening.
That was never discussed between Greg and me, and also the intertitles are all wrong. We realize that, but we come back to that on the final discussion.
Well,
perhaps.
then that's what Dee put into the script. She put them in.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I wanted Dee's whisper voice to be heard, but not necessarily for all of them. So could we, in the last part, have my voice back? And
So
we
is that
will.
Not
part
right
6?
now. I can't
Yeah.
do that so quickly.
No.
But it would
Okay.
be part 6
Yeah.
is where we want to go back to Johannes's.
But
Yeah.
I'll change it for the
Yeah.
performance.
And Greg, I had explicitly mentioned to you that I wanted white on black in my titles, not yours in blue. And there are some mistakes in the titles, and I had corrected all of those in my titles. So we need to revert to my intertitles.
Yeah, but
sorry.
but Johannes, the intertitles are now video. It's much easier. It saves me endless cues to put the intertitles with video so that I can also combine the sound. So if you want the titles to be white,
Yeah.
I can make them white.
Is there a film with the intertitles that you made?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Well, but you have to go back to Adobe Premiere in order to edit them.
Oh dear.
I can do it. It's not a problem. Just tell me what you want. I'm working. My titles are working off of what's in the script.
No. I made all the slides for you in the intertitles folder. I made them precisely the way I wanted them, in white on black without quotation marks. And then I also sent you my voice for each title, and Dee sent you hers.
Well,
So
I'm telling you, it was
yeah,
not clear in the script.
okay.
So
Sorry.
That
I
may
can
be my
only
fault.
work off
That
the
may,
script. Otherwise, I can't read everybody's
Yeah.
minds.
Okay.
okay, so what do we need to get this correct going
Greg, I
forward?
sent you a precise letter on this, a very precise letter. Yeah.
No. Put it in the script, or Greg can put it in the script, because I can't work off of 18 different things. I just work off of the script.
By that, you mean the spreadsheet.
The spreadsheet, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so what are the changes we need to make? We need part 6 intro title to be Johannes's voice.
Yeah. And
And
then
then the
I need
titles
to,
need to
Greg,
be
you and I
white.
need to go through all the intertitles. I would like you to use my intertitles white on black with the correct grammatical sentences that I have put into these intertitles, because there were several mistakes today in the blue.
Well, again, I'm just working off of what was in the script. Otherwise, I can't. What happened?
I have put all my intertitles into the intertitle folder. They were there for 2 weeks now.
Well, Johannes, what would be
Yeah.
better is if you just give me the correct text. I said this weeks ago. I just need the text because I am producing the video for these intertitles in Adobe Premiere. I'm not going to take your graphics and use them. I just need the text.
Okay. The correct text is in the intertitles document.
Okay,
doc-
I'll figure that out and I will
Yeah, Greg
confirm it
can
with
do it.
you.
Okay.
We just need to
And
know.
Let's see.
I also have, before we do our review session, I want to play the closing credits.
oh dear. Yeah. But shall we do the Min Chi scene now, or?
Oh, I thought we did it.
No, we stopped
Oh,
at
we
the
didn't get
intertitle.
to
So,
it. Okay,
so,
sorry.
so Dee, if it's okay with you, my voice comes back here for that last scene, and then we move into Northern China, Min Chi film. So can we do again intertitle part 6?
Okay, so
Yep.
who is in the scene right now?
Ju.
Okay. And not D.
No.
No.
Okay, great. All right, here we go.
Ju, you're not wearing your headscarf. So when you exit the Hadrian's Wall film, you have enough time, I think 2 minutes to put the head on, and then come with the threads. Yeah.
The music is warping as well, by the way, again.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'll fix it right now. Okay. So D, you don't need anything to loop.
Yeah, nothing needs to loop at all.
Okay, that's helpful to know. I can just take all that off.
There's a couple of things that I wanted to say about the tree image and the scarf before that. Don't make it look like a weapon, it looks too much like a gun.
That's why I looped everything. We don't have the music just ending like that.
I think that's the last slide.
Mm-hmm.
And fade out Jew.
Okay, I'm going to put that into my script. Oh, did the video just loop?
I don't know.
I think it might have. It's not supposed to.
I think it might have looped because that was the last slide, as far as I remember.
Yeah. I'll fix that.
So no loop, please.
Okay. Let me just. I have to fade it out manually here. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, then closing credits. You can tell me if you like this. I just came up with something.
That's the last slide.
Basically the intro backwards, more or less. So Dee, I'm wondering if maybe you might want to provide some intro and outro music.
You want to put these?
Yeah, I can re-edit from one of the themes that I've done and just take a few little bits.
Not there at the minute.
Okay, that's great. Somehow I've lost my camera here. Oh, I see.
Randall, of course, you did not play my final credits film, right? I had given you a precise final credits film with credits to the artists, the musicians, the assistant.
Where is that? Is
that's
that
the
the
wrong
intro
film.
titles?
We have no idea where that is. It's not in the script. I'm sorry. So Johannes, I'm going to try to say this politely.
Yeah.
But
here it is.
Just because
the final
you put
credits
something
film was uploaded 4 or 5 days ago.
Let me just explain something so we have some clarity about this.
Yeah.
Just because you've uploaded something and you've put it in a folder and you've written about it in an email, it doesn't mean it's going to make its way into the project. The only way that I can function here, because this is very complicated what I'm doing, is that it's got to work its way into the script, this spreadsheet. So, and then Greg can do that, but he needs to know exactly what's supposed to go into the piece. So there's a little step missing here, which is to make sure that Greg is aware of every single piece of media that you want to use.
So I just found it, Randall. It's in the intro titles folder. I've got a note about it. It's called credit roll at the end.mov.
Yeah. And can you provide us, rather than with the video, can you just provide us with the text?
Yes, I can do that.
Because I'm happy to do this. I prefer to do it myself just because I have a certain way of doing this. So, I'm doing the intro and the outro, and you're doing everything in between. So,
okay, fair enough. I mean, I know your aesthetics look different from ours. So when you have these very large blue-green letters, that's not how I would do it, but I'll send you the text. I'll be happy to do that.
No, I'm happy to do it with your aesthetics. If you want to even suggest a font and a color, I'll do it in a font size. I'll do it exactly the way you want.
That's why I made you the film to look at for the intertitles, if you didn't like it, or for the final credit rolls. But maybe, Greg, we missed mentioning that explicitly. I thought it was very obvious. I have provided all the intertitles and the final credit rolls.
It's okay. Let's not worry about it. Also,
We
Dee's going to add some intro and outro music, so I'll edit that in with all the titles and everything, just
Yeah.
exactly the way you want it, and we'll all be happy.
And I think, Dee, tell me if you agree. I think I would prefer not to hear the water sound.
Yeah.
That
I'll
was
create something quite. I'll
that
just
was
create
my
something.
idea.
Dee, was that
I,
from you?
that was
No.
from me. I did that, but it
Yeah,
was
I don't think
Dee's
it's
sound.
appropriate.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It was a placeholder just to have
Okay.
something
Thank you.
there.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Well, G, I think we need to give you very quick feedback, Michelle, to the last scene because we have not really done it before.
Yeah, so a couple of things. So if you could come on with the headscarf for that, if you can put the headscarf on first so that you appear with the workers in the field with the scarf on. Just have another look at how it's tied. I don't mind that you've actually got a different style because I think the scarf's a different shape, but ultimately it kind of goes around and it almost ties under the neck. But don't worry if you can't do it, um, because you've got a rectangle and they have a square, I think. Um, yeah, but anyway, what you did looked really good on your head, so it doesn't really matter too much. But by the time you get to the point with the tree, the dead tree, what really worked for me last time was that the scarf was no longer on your head, but it was back as a kind of long piece that you were working with, just very momentarily. The long strand of the red scarf against the black silhouette of the tree and your body looked really fantastic. So it's almost capturing that again. Then when you start to roll the wool, I mean, obviously we're not really seeing that much at all. It hasn't worked as I imagined, but it's still quite an interesting gesture that you're working with. But it didn't work when you put it around the gao chow. We didn't see much at all. But what did really work was when you punctuated the shapes with the tip of the gacha. That worked really well as a kind of really repetitive, systematic movement that you were doing.
Yeah.
But I also last week really liked it when you took the original strips of green screen and you'd put them around your eyes, and they were just there in the tree silhouette image, and it worked really well. So there were a few things that were lost in this one that were captured in the last, but the last scene with the squares was really good with the gaucho.
Okay. I have to address this scene too. Please forgive me. Ju, it's a difficult scene because it's a slow film with slides, and you obviously may not see when the tree comes to coordinate that. But I think you need to maybe take to heart what Michelle suggested. Red headgear, do the action maybe with the wire, but we can't really see it. And then the third choreography was when you were punctuating the floor. That to me was the best because the Gao Chao is now an instrument. Don't use it as a weapon like in the first scene. Just punctuate. And then in my cue sheet, I had written cue 46. You are coming forward towards the camera with the wires, perhaps, and we see the landscape through your head behind you. Your head becomes transparent, and you are saying to the camera, I can help, I can help, I can help. So that's all in the script, Drew, and maybe we never had time to rehearse this. And I don't know, Randall, whether it's possible to make him come towards the camera and make his head transparent so that we can look through his head. I'm not sure
Yeah,
whether that's...
let's just make a note of that. And so, just to kind of give you a sense of where I am,
Yeah.
It took me like all week just to get this much done.
Yeah.
It was, this piece is more complicated than the black white thing that we did. in many ways. There's many more cues and changes and this and that. So it's really complex what we're doing. That's why it's taking up so much time for you and for me and for Greg and for everybody. It's complicated, which is fine. I like complicated, but
It's exciting.
you know, I'm okay with complicated, but the point is that I still have a lot of detail to do in terms of getting fades to be smooth and a lot of the indications that you have in here for opacities and this and that. I still have to add some of that. So my suggestion to make sure that I can do exactly what you want is to get all the information into some form that Greg can get it into our spreadsheet. And then it will happen.
And I think this, well, to answer you and everyone here can hear me, this was to me completely crystal clear. G has not been able to rehearse this, so he has to improvise choreographically. But we only have intertitle, start film, G walks into the land. And then I say Q46, near the end, Ju's head becomes slowly ghostly transparent. And I would like Ju to speak into the camera, I can help. And the film is 3:34 minutes. So that's the time we need to move from rolling film to the ghostly head and then fade out.
Right.
Can you just
No,
say
that's all
something?
doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you're intending to do the ghostly head, but you know when he wraps the chroma key fabric around that becomes
That
the
would be
ghostly head.
so. If Ju could wrap that thing around him, and then maybe that becomes the chroma key.
Not the wool Jew, but the original chroma key cloth that you've got there. Maybe make some more strips a little bit thicker, and then as you wrap those around your head, your face disappears.
Let's try. Let me just get something real quick. What you're talking about?
Holding that like that because it was like a rifle. Unless you want that.
No, tool. Stamping.
So
tool.
what I would do to make him look more ghostly is, I would not make him smaller. I would add a little bit of transparency like that, right?
But you could.
And you kindly come very close to the camera near the end so we can see the landscape in the background and you just the head exactly. Yes. So that'll be your final 10, 15 seconds and you repeat in English, I can help, I can help, I can help. And before you have been helping with your Gao Chao, putting seeds into the ground to have water, all this movement is just fine.
It's beautiful. I really like that.
So not a gun or a sword, but
maybe black and white, less saturation, something like that. I mean, this is rough, but maybe a little more transparency.
Make him a little bit more ghostly, like you had. Like you had in black and white, you were looking through the head into the scene. Like a ghosting effect. I don't know what it's called.
It's all very tricky because, he's being keyed, so the key gets funny when you do that. So
that's it, Drew. That's it. A little bit lower,
Oh, maybe reversing the contrast.
That was my dream for that final moment. How about that?
Moment. Something like that.
I can't see it.
Maybe too much.
No, that's too much. That's too odd. That's better.
You don't want some black like that, though. You don't want that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Except now,
looking at this against the scene,
you look blindfolded, and that's not what I actually had in mind.
Let me put something behind him.
Hoping to see the landscape behind him.
Yeah, he's not playing it.
I know that. I understand. I was just saying what I hope to see.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
I
don't want to.
Yes. Well, last time, Drew put this stuff on his head as he was performing that last scene, and you saw the landscape behind. And actually, it would be interesting if his head is being wrapped. He's wrapping his own head, and as he's wrapping his own head, he's disappearing into the landscape.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
Let's,
I don't know
let's
why.
see if we play music on film and if you can wrap your head and the landscape is in the bandage.
I don't know why I'm having trouble with the background image, but I think that this is rather nice.
So you take it off again and stay in the same position and begin to wrap it while Randall is bringing back the film. And let us very slowly see what happens when we look through your eyes. And the film plays in its original color.
Oh, let's see.
Wait you until the film comes. Randall is not ready
I'm
yet.
trying because I'm doing this out of order. I'm a little discombobulated.
Yeah. We were almost sold you.
I don't know why the background's not showing up. Hold on. There we go. There we go.
So at this point you would have your well, yeah, maybe we'll just practice this while we watch the other slides. Okay. Can you come a bit lower in front of the camera on your knees? Yeah, that's it.
I rather like that because he's been black the whole piece, and now he's white. His clothing is white. It's kind of nice.
So if you have a bit more of that tube, the next time you can keep wrapping the face, so there's more of your face disappears.
I can help. Is Drew's mic on? Can we hear him? And Drew, can you go a bit lower so that we only see your head and not the t-shirt? A bit forward. Really close to the camera. Yes, more close. Yes, that's it, Drew.
I like that, yeah.
So we don't see the t-shirt, just your face and the eyes, and then fade out.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Very nice.
I can help.
If you do an exaggeration of the mouth, you get to see inside.
You need to see your mouth, Drew.
Can you come up a bit so we can see your mouth? Yeah, stop. Right. So I can help.
I can help. Say it. I can help.
I don't think he's hearing.
And I can help. I can help. It's the last slide. I can help.
He's talking, but we can't hear him.
Okay. And end of film and fade him out. Brilliant. Drew, you did excellent. No, the film is not looped. That was the last slide of the film.
You can take the headset. You can take it off your face.
Brilliant.
Now, thank you.
We got it. Randall, you did great. So the film is 3:34 minutes and then ends. It's not looped. I put this into the cue sheet.
Yes. Maybe I accidentally did.
No accidents.
I
yeah.
tried not to loop it. Let me fix that right now. Well, I'll fix it later. Anyway,
No,
okay.
fix it now, and then we know about it. Fix it now.
All right. Okay.
So, are we going to try to get a run through before the workshop next weekend? That seems to
So,
be the.
do you think it might work because it's going to be difficult? Jew saying he said it many times and nobody heard it, but yeah, we could see Jew that there was a problem. But anyway, what I was wondering is because it's difficult for everybody with Jew being in Bath, etc. Whether we could aim to meet earlier in the day on Saturday and really do a good run through, and then have a short break, and then go into the actual thing. That's my suggestion.
It's okay. That's fine with me.
I don't know how